What's good, everybody? Happy Monday already. Forgot to close this thing off for you. We did our dough show video earlier today, and I forgot to erase it because somebody stole my eraser. So hope all is good with you. We'll get started here today. Sorry for the little hiccups earlier. Hopefully the volume sounds good and everything looks good to you. Hope you had a good day today. We have the stock market starting the day a little bit weaker today. A couple things before we get going here. Tomorrow, we are doing our class for our customers. We are doing it on speed and volatility. A lot of people get confused about how we choose investments for our portfolios and how we adjust them. Remember, we are not stock pickers. We have no interest in picking winning stocks, nor do we have an interest in picking like 100 perfectly timed, well-positioned stocks. Our goal, remember, is to move at a certain speed with the market. If the stock market's moving 60 miles an hour and you want to go 60 miles an hour, that's our goal. If the stock market's going 60 miles an hour and you want to go 40 because you're getting closer to retirement, or maybe you're trying to be a little less aggressive, that's our goal, okay? So tomorrow in our Wine and Wealth class, we're going to talk about speed and volatility. Specifically, how do we calculate this stuff? What's the geeky math behind it? I'll take it as far as you want. You guys will let me know if you want me to take it further. And that'll be in our Wine and Wealth class. Look out for the email tomorrow for our customers. Okay, let's talk about the market here. Also, we got a new real estate fund that we just posted, got it finally approved. So if you want to check that out, it's on our website. The markets today were a little bit lower to start the week. We were down on the Dow by 125 points thanks to JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. We'll go over that in a second. Of course, you've got them exposed to that Turkish financial crisis that's going on over there, which was all there was to talk about in the news today, and that's because it's summertime, right? The S&P 500 sold off 11 and the NASDAQ closed lower by 19. It's just a slow, boring summertime day as the markets exhale, right? If you've watched this sort of update for a while, you know what I'm talking about. The markets breathe in and then they breathe out, and then they breathe in and they breathe out. For the most part, just normal living, just breathing in and breathing out like we do all the time. And then there are certain points where you run out of breath, you get overexcited, of course you're breathing faster, and the markets just currently aren't in that spot. It is very normal for this time of year. If you look on the charts right down here at the bottom, that's how the market performed all day. A little attempt to go higher and then it drifted lower. A little attempt to go higher and then it closed on its lows. Let's go over to the charts and take a look here today. So if we take a look at the Dow, you can very easily see the breathing in and breathing out. It is so clear, so simple that we are currently just exhaling. And I said last week, in the middle of the week, if the markets pulled back a little bit, as long as they did it calmly, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to make a big deal out of it. It'll just be a nice, normal, calm pullback. And so that's what we have so far in the Dow. Everything looking just fine there. The S&P 500 also exhaling a little bit here, still very much in the midst of an uptrend. The only problem is now we have to try a little harder to get back to those highs, all-time highs, which everybody was looking at last week. The NASDAQ 100 pulled back a little bit, not very exciting, right? Just not really much to write home about. And if you follow the Russell 2000, that continues to bleed off ever so slowly, right? So not a big deal there. Okay, let's take a look around at some of the different areas of the market. Semiconductors today were just slightly higher. And in fact, if you look around at all of the areas of the market, you just see a little bit, right? The semiconductors added about 0.1%. You got down here, healthcare healthcare was flat on the day. You had utilities flat, basically a 0.9% or 0.09%. You get what I'm saying. And then consumer staples, just the tiniest little pullback. Information technology, just the tiniest little pullback. Nothing to be excited about there. Telecommunications, the tiniest little pullback. The biggest move of the day came on the downside. That was energy. Energy continues to be weak. That was your worst performing sector of the week. And so if we take a look at the price of oil, it just continues to slide ever so slowly down. Now, it was down 1.5% on the day. It did recover a little bit there. So that's a little bit exciting if you care about the price of oil. That is hurting energy and energy stocks as well. And then let's look at maybe an ETF. There we go. Emerging markets, the ETFs for that, or anything that you follow emerging markets wise, of course, it's going to have a little bit of a rough day today. 1.6% on the downside. I don't really have a whole lot to offer to that. It's just normal volatility given the news that's come out. You would expect to see that. The banking stocks down 1% today. We mentioned earlier that that was because of Goldman Sachs JP Morgan, those guys obviously have exposure to Turkey. They have exposure to clients across in the EU that little distraction. Over in the EU that are, of course, exposed to this are more how it works. Here in the States, we don't talk about that. We don't trade in Turkey. We don't care about the lira. We don't care about the currency exchange rate. But over in Europe, they do. And so you've got JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs naturally with a lot of exposure over there. So a little bit of a hit, 1.2% on Goldman Sachs, and then JP Morgan, 1.5%. Nothing too crazy. Tesla, there we go. Tesla, basically flat. So it ended up closing a touch higher, very, very small, 0.25% higher. I think he's going to do it. I think I'm going to just go on record. I mean, I don't care one way or the other. To me, I'm not like invested in this. But I think Elon Musk is going to get the money to take this thing private and eventually sort of get bought out in a way. I think he's going to do it, man. I don't know. So anyways, you've got this sort of issue. Was he manipulating the stock price by tweeting that the other day? And this is ridiculous, by the way, if you got a second. He says, well, no, anything that I tweet is not coming from Tesla. It's coming from me as an investor, him as an investor. And so he goes, that's a big difference between the company tweeting out something. Whatever he says is not the same as what the company says. I can tell you right now that if for some reason I had a personal Twitter account and I tweeted my opinion about stocks and anybody actually cared, I'd be in big trouble for that. You can't do that. So yeah, you're going to have to pay a little price for that one. Let's go over to Papa John's. So the stock was higher by 4% today. Papa John's is going back to their their franchisees, and they're like, look, we get it. It's been a rough year for you between what Papa John initially said and then what he actually said afterwards, which I don't know, like that's kind of weird. And they said, look, we're sorry about this. Franchisees, obviously, they know their sales are lower. We can see it in their reports here. And so they said, okay, tell you what, if you have a Papa John's franchise, we're going to help you with, what was it? They were going to help you with a reduced royalty payment. That's nice of them. We're going to reduce the prices on the food that you pay and other costs that you have coming to us to try to help you out. Papa John's trying to do the nice thing here. We'll see how it works. Blue Apron down 1.4% on the day. HelloFresh. Have you ever heard of HelloFresh? So HelloFresh, they don't make any money either. Blue Apron doesn't make any money. It costs more to acquire a customer than the profit of the customer, right? That's how it works. So Blue Apron doesn't make any money. HelloFresh was supposed to start making money in the second half of this year. Well, they're out of Germany. HelloFresh came out, it was funny, right? HelloFresh came out and said, we now don't expect to be profitable until next year, maybe early next year, because they're reinvesting in the company. Is that the truth, or can these meal kit companies not make any money? It's too hard, way too hard. So we'll see what happens there. Because of that, you had the price of Blue Apron lower on the day just coming after that. Wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about Harley Davidson. The president picking on Harley Davidson again, saying that people will boycott Harley Davidson if they do move manufacturing overseas. Harley Davidson's like, we don't have any choice. You're tariffing the crap out of us over here. And then on the other side, we're paying tariffs. Going to cost us $45 million this year, $100 million next year. The company, whether you think it's anti-American or you think something's wrong with it, the company's like, what? We got to do something to make money. We might have to move overseas. And so that's what they say they're going to do. And Trump's fighting back a little bit because of that nonsense. What did we say last week? When stocks have indecision, when stocks have no clarification on what's going to happen, what happens? The stock price just wiggles around. Tesla's a great example. When stocks slowly make more and more money, whether, it could be slow, it's fine. When they do that, then little by little the stock price goes up. What do we have here? What do we have with Tesla? We have uncertainty. We don't know what the company's going to do. Because of that, you have an equal number of people that think the world is going to end with Harley Davidson, and you have an equal number of people that say, well, this is a hell of a discount, right? If people are scared, they're going to buy. It's like that with anything else. Politics, great example. You have half the world that hates Hillary Clinton, and you have half the world that hates Donald Trump. There can't be a winner, right? You just can't have a president where 100% of the people love him. I don't think that's even possible, but it's what it is. So anyways, that's what's going on there. That's about all I have for you. I'm going to dig around real quick through the S&P 500 just because I love this stuff. Oh, home builders. Big losers today are the home builders. You got Lennar, down 5%. Pulte Homes down 4%. Dr. Horton, I call it Dr. Horton. It's DR Horton is the name of the company, but we'll call it Dr. Horton. They're a home builder as well, down 3%. And then where was the last one? Did it sneak back towards positive? I don't want to take a lot of your time. There was another one there. Shoot, I can't find it. Anyways, home builders down on the day. They were the worst performer stock-wise, right? So with companies that had the number of stocks trading lower, if I just made any sense to you. Okay, on the upside, there we go, Nielsen. So you got Nielsen, that's a TV rating company. They have a big shareholder that's going to try to push them to sell themselves. We'll see what happens there. The stock was up 12% on the news. You had Cisco, not Cisco, the computer manufacturer, or the parts and electronics people. IT, let's say IT. Makes me look a little smarter, right? If I just say the IT company. Cisco, not them, Cisco, the food company that delivers all the food that, to the restaurants. That was higher by 7% today on earnings. What else? News Corp trying to recover from Friday a little bit. Advanced Micro Devices pushing back towards highs. Oh, it appears I owe David Cook a beer. Cardinal Health, yeah, just little things. Just like we said, Jello on the plate, as they say. Just sort of sloshing around. Small gains, small losses with a few outliers. Anyways, I could do this all day. Let's just move on here. Yep, that's about all I got for you there. So as far as stocks today, sort of a quiet day. Toll Brothers, there you go. Yeah, sort of a quiet day on the day today. Summertime, that's going to continue. That's going to go into the rest of the next couple of weeks, actually, till Labor Day. Expect it, enjoy it, take a break from it. The stock market's just going to be quiet unless there's some kind of news there. Remember, we got our class tomorrow, Volatility and Speed. How in the world do we build these portfolios and how do we manage them? I update our customers every month, but tomorrow we're going to geek out a little bit. Come have a glass of wine with us and we'll go over that really quickly. I'll answer some questions if you have any, and then I'm going to roll. It is softball night for Jazz Wealth. We all leave with our shirts on and we go play softball for a few hours. Bricks, how do you say that? Bricksation. I love it. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for that. Today was one of those days I needed to hear that. Thanks. Elon's going to miss the whole media when Tesla... yeah, he'll still tweet, I would imagine. That'd be like Donald Trump when he's done being the president. I think a guy like that still tweets. Other than the Roth IRA, Roth 401k, are there other accounts that we can contribute to grow tax-free earnings trying to beat contribution limits? It may be that you just don't even need to look at those. You may be looking, I'm not sure what you do for a living or what you're doing there, but it may be, yeah, that there are other ways to set up yourself rather than go the traditional route like that. It could be. It's hard, obviously, for me to guess, but I appreciate the question. Toll Brothers was the one I was thinking, yeah. If you love me, let me go. Oh, cool. After following Dave Ramsey 6 years, that is not the recommendation. The gentleman should learn a little more. Watch your video. Are you talking to me? I should learn a bit more? I agree I should, by the way. If you're saying I don't know enough about Dave Ramsey, I even said that in the video. I'm not really sure what the guy does. I know he's about paying off debt, but apparently from the comments, you can have debt on your house and still invest. Good to hear, but the guy that... oh, that's what you're talking about. The guy that was talking to me. Yeah, there you go. And I'm very, very confident he's watching, by the way. So that's good to know. The guy that was talking to me that wanted to pay the house off. Yes, it sounds like most of the comments from that video and everybody, you guys were on the same page. Holy cow. I mean, like, you got to do what you got to do with your money. If I'm a good fit here at Jazz Wealth and I can help you, great. If I'm not, I at least send you with some advice, right? You couldn't change that guy's mind. I know he's watching. All right, guys. Hey, I really appreciate you guys following along here. If there's anything I could do for you, you know where to find me. Leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, all that stuff I'm supposed to say. And enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm off to play some softball, and then I've got a lot of work to catch up on. We'll see you later.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.